Yeah, this Tennessee Wildman though, after doing the research, this has become.
This
I
is
can
interesting.
I could see why there's a lot of people talking about this thing. I can see
Yeah.
why it's on the list.
Yeah. No, I was just, I brought it up. I had a feeling about it, and then digging into the research, I got way more information, and you know what? This is gonna be a good one. I'm excited to talk about this one.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. There's so much going on with this cryptid. It's crazy. With that said, man, why don't we get into it? Let's
Yeah.
roll the credits and get
Let's roll
moving.
the credits. All right, here we go.
Welcome in everyone to Spirits for Spirits. This is season 3, episode 26, the Tennessee Wildman. I am your host, John Watkins, and of course, the host with the most hosts, all the way over there in California, Mr. David Lowe.
All the way in California. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man? Dude, today's already started off creepy.
Already creepy, dude.
I mean, I might turn this on just in case,
I think we might be getting some action tonight. We got to keep an eye on the cameras.
Hello, my love.
I might go full screen here, and there's your love. That's so nice.
Yeah.
My wife just yells from upstairs. Shut the fuck up!
You won't understand.
Yeah. I don't even know how to explain what happened earlier. I mean,
I don't know. That was.
We're gonna have to. I'm gonna have
to figure out a way to be able to capture that, because we didn't capture it. We were. Yeah, so guys, we were in the green room just kind of chatting and uploading some stuff, getting ready for the show.
Didn't even know Dave was in there. Just went in to add a couple of pictures I didn't think Dave might have,
Yeah, and I was working on the history, because I saw some stuff that I needed to adjust on it. So we just happened to both be in at the same time, and it was about an hour and a half before the show started. Well, an hour and a half before, 2.5 hours.
It was about 2.5 hours. It was around 4
it was like 3:30 for me, so it was 4:30 for you.
Yeah.
And there's something just passed in front of your camera, and it was like,
and cast a shadow on the wall behind me.
No, dude, that had mass. It was solid.
I didn't see it. Like, I didn't see it.
Yeah. No, I saw it. Looked like someone just walked in front of your camera. And I know your camera is like there and your desk is like there. So
yeah.
There's no way a person can walk in front of your camera, between you and the camera. There's no way. And that I saw the shadow too. It started to come into view. I saw the shadow on the back wall. It completely blacked out the camera.
Yeah.
It was a solid shadow figure mass. I was crazy. That's the
holy water.
I might need some
holy water. You might need some holy water.
That was holy water. I got some right here.
Yep, I got mine too.
since we are in Tennessee for the next 2 weeks here,
Yeah.
uh, I was like, "You know what? I need something for Tennessee." And I was like, "You know what? I'll do some Jack and Cokes, some Tennessee whiskey." And I'm too lazy to mix my own, so I got the Jack and Coke
You
in a
got
bottle pre-made.
all right.
Oh, sorry sorry, my love,
Oh, great.
the
It
jalapeno habanero smudging did not work.
did not work. I might have
You
drawn it.
won't understand.
You won't understand. So this particular time, which is funny because when we were talking about Japan, your beer was from Mexico, and now mine's from Mexico.
Ah, there you go.
So
Yeah.
I'm going with the 32 ouncer, which should last me the entire show.
Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy. Hold on,
But
I have
that
to
was
I have to
that was
feel
an
this.
amazing thing. And then the other thing was the ravens that were flying around my house as he's talking. So
Yeah, the Ravens was crazy while you're doing the Raven mocker.
while I'm working on the raven mocker, and there's two ravens on the roof of my house squawking. And I was like, okay,
That's just crazy.
it was a trip, bro.
Thank you. And my beautiful daughter bringing me my nicotine because I forgot to grab that with my beer.
Oh, gotta have that.
Gotta have
Uh,
that.
Thomas,
This is gonna be a high energy, I think, cryptid that we're gonna be talking about with the Tennessee Wildman.
yeah.
And I I don't know what to think. I don't Okay, so we picked the Tennessee Wildman, and I'm like, okay, we're talking about, another Squatch like creature. I'm like, okay, we and we both love talking about the Squatch.
Yeah. Yeah, because I
And
mean, literally, the Sasquatch or the Bigfoot. That's like the king dingaling of cryptids. It's the one everybody knows about. It's the one
yeah.
that most people, aside from your fucking cousin, believe in. Um, but then there are variations
why?
because about the skunk ape. We've talked
Yeah, the
about
skunk ape,
Why?
we've talked about the hibagon in Japan.
Hibicon, the
Japan,
Rougarou.
the Rougarou, um, and in a couple weeks we're going to talk about the Yeti, which is another one.
Yeah, another one.
And then here it comes with the Tennessee Wildman. And at first blush, I'm like, okay, is this a Bigfoot? And there is a very distinct difference
Very
between
distinct.
the Tennessee Wildman and the Bigfoot. And I found something really interesting, and you might catch it in the lore when we do it.
I wonder if he put something that I wanted to talk about in the comparative area here in the lore. So
What?
I'm interested to see. Yeah, what,
We're
Dave?
gonna find out what in just a second. Um,
Because
so
I think this is going to be a high impact, high energy type of talk tonight with what we're talking about. Uh, and yeah, I needed my nicotine for that. I'm pretty sure I should have grabbed 3 bottles instead of just 2. Um,
Keep recording.
we will.
oh, we are. Um, but this is I I've been excited about talking about cryptids. There's certain cryptids that just get the energy. Let's talk about. This is one of those. Like it's like wow, holy cow. I mean, I think I was I was way down when we did
You won't
Japan.
understand.
He keeps saying that, and that was a weird voice saying it. Like when we did the Hibagon and the Ninja in Japan, when we just first started discussing, I was way down on them until the discussion. So,
Mm.
but there's certain cryptids out there that just make you go, yeah, like when you mention Bigfoot, you just get this energy level about you. This is that type of cryptid, I think.
What is your name?
And I think the score is gonna tell everybody that too.
Mhm.
Because wow. Just wow. I was not expecting this looking into the Tennessee Wild Man. And I don't know, Dave. I don't know. This is
Really.
I don't know. It's interesting because there's
Thanks.
there's some interesting stuff, but do you want to go ahead and go with the lore and let's check
Yeah,
out
let's-
the history that I
yeah,
grabbed?
let's check out the as GhostTube said. Let's continue on with the ritual here and throw the lore.
All right.
And see what we got and go start talking about it from there.
All right, here we go with the lore on the Tennessee Wildman. Check this out. The Cherokee call this cryptid Keklekudlech, or Hairy Savage, and the Nyonui, the Stone Man. It is sometimes called the Milk Creek Wildman, or even the Wood Booger. This is the Tennessee Wildman. The description of the Tennessee Wildman is much similar in appearance to Bigfoot, only with a more human face. The origin of the Tennessee Wildman goes way back to the 1800s in McNairy County, Tennessee. One of the stories is that a circus freak showman somehow captured the beast and put him on display in a cage to where everyone could see him for exploitation until it finally broke free. Some theories suggest that the wild man could be a Bigfoot or Sasquatch, while others believe it could be a reclusive member of the hermit community, or even a feral human. However, one popular theory links the Tennessee Wildman to Native American folklore and the Wendigo, a cannibalistic spirit said to possess humans and turn them into monstrous beings. This cryptid is reported to be 7 to 9 feet tall, have dark gray or dark ginger hair, and piercing red eyes. It is known to let out a disturbing war cry that can frighten anyone that hears it, and gives off a horrible stench like rotting flesh or a dead animal. The wild man is often seen alone, but some have reported sightings of several of these cryptids together. The Tennessee Wildman's behavior is very aggressive and often fights for territory. They possess tremendous strength, agility, and speed, even reported to have claws. There is even a theory that the Wildman and the Bigfoot are archenemies. Witnesses have reported the Wildman approaching their homes and even playing with their pets or livestock. In one instance, a farmer claimed that the Wildman stole several of his pigs and ate them. There have been many groups of men that have went out hunting for the creature, but they usually come back empty-handed, or something traumatizing happens to them. The monster is known to have a strange targeting obsession with dogs and women, and many women have come out to say the Wildman had attempted to snatch them up and carry them away. The first recorded sighting of this cryptid was in 1869, and in the late 1970s there were many reports of cars being attacked, as well as people hearing a piercing screech and then being chased out of the woods. Was this an example of them fighting humans for territory? The last reported sighting of the Tennessee Wildman was nearly 20 years ago, and there have not been any further reports. Is the Tennessee Wildman real, or just a legend? Has the cryptid been alive for almost 150 years? Or do more than one of these exist? We may never know for sure, but one thing is for sure. The legend of the Wildman will forever haunt the woods of Tennessee.
Great stuff. That's great stuff. And in your lore, you hit kind of 2 points that I kind of want to talk about right off the bat. Is one, its relationship to the Wendigo,
Yes.
and two, the territorial fighting between it and Bigfoot.
Yes.
those are two things that I kind of wanted to talk about right off the bat. How do you feel when you think about the description of the Tennessee Wildman? 9 foot tall,
It's not for you.
red beady eyes,
Not for you.
claws, grayish or red hair.
Scared.
Yeah, it would be scary. And claws, unlike Bigfoot, claws.
Claws.
Not just that, strength, agility, and
And
speed.
Yeah. They've, they talk about they sent hunting parties out after this thing and
Oh,
come
yeah.
back with nothing, or so traumatized that they don't want to go back.
One of the reports was about the hunting parties. They would either come back with nothing or come back
Disrespectful.
eaten to an what's the word? Unrecognizable pulp.
Yes. Like, yeah, beaten, like messed up.
So how
But
do you how do you feel about the correlation between the Wendigo and the wild man here?
I think that was really interesting. Especially with, with the Cherokee background, with the Native American background. Is it possible that the Tennessee Wildman is kind of like a cousin of the Wendigo, or like an offshoot of it? I think it's possible that this is the Wildman is closer in relation to the Wendigo than it is Bigfoot. Now, at first, I didn't think that way. At first, I was like, "Oh, this is just another Bigfoot."
Yeah, a cousin of Bigfoot or something,
And the
or even
Bigfoot is
just
just like the other ones. But the first thing that got me was that more human face.
yeah, human
Like
like, hairy all over, long
hair
beard
instead
down
of
to
fur, that wasn't a thing. Like dark gray or dark ginger hair, not fur, hair.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
And
might be my favorite picture
How
of it
are you?
on how you think it would look.
yeah,
That might be my favorite picture of it. I don't know. I don't know who did that picture and who dressed that dude up.
that was my favorite picture.
Work.
But
It was
wow,
work.
wow, that I mean, that's I don't know if that I don't believe that's a real picture of the wild man. I believe that is costume.
I well,
Not
I
doing
thought
well.
it was drawn. I thought it was like a I
You
thought it was
think
like a
that was
painting.
drawn?
I thought it was a drawing, but the trees look really real.
Yeah, I don't
But I
think
but
that's
I don't
drawn.
think that's real. I think that's,
I think that's
Photoshop or a costume or something.
I think
But
that's
I
like
mean,
movie
that's a
set shit right
that's a
there.
great freaking costume. And we gotta say hello to Spicy. What's up, Spicy?
What's going on,
I'm
Spicy?
so glad you said hey. Appreciate it. And take care of yourself, brother. Have a great weekend. Um,
Th This thing, I can't necessarily put this as a relative of Bigfoot.
no, it doesn't. And they seem to be, they every,
They're
a lot of things that I read, that they're territorial, and that they
They
went
go
up
at it.
against Bigfoot.
Yeah, I mean, these things are smaller than Bigfoot.
Yeah, I mean, they max out at
I
9 feet.
want to eat.
That's no slouch, and they're really strong. But I mean, Bigfoot can go up to like 12,
Yeah.
and they're a lot burlier, probably stronger. I don't think they're faster, but um,
Yeah,
these,
you don't hear about the wild man uprooting a fucking redwood tree and throwing it at people.
yeah,
Or
nah, but
knocking
they're,
it down or
but yeah,
anything like that, but they I can you imagine what that would sound like? You're sitting on your back porch and you got the forest in your backyard and you hear Bigfoot and the wild man fighting at each other?
yeah. Now, who's to say you haven't heard that? I mean, I've heard evidence of like two Bigfoots like squawking at each other.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, that's okay. You don't have to apologize. But um there's just It's really interesting. And I think one of the things that really jumped out at me was they're talking about how, like, in the last 20 years that there haven't been any sightings.
Stalker.
Okay.
I think he
Uh,
maybe kind of is.
yeah.
Yeah, there was that report, but then I don't know. I could have sworn I saw something where as late as 2019 there was a report of seeing it.
Well, I read an article from 2015, but come to find out the sighting was 20 years old.
Oh,
So it turned out
from
to be 95.
okay.
But I do have some video footage. I don't know that were posted recently, but I don't know, number
How
one,
old
if
those
that's
are.
Wildman or Bigfoot, and number
Yeah.
two, if how long ago that was actually filmed.
Yeah.
So, but at least from what they say, the early 2000s was the last report.
Yeah.
And
Like
that
70s, it went off the hook. I mean, it was attacking freaking cars.
it was attacking cars. It broke
houses.
into houses. Like there was one instance where it attacked a house. Like it was throwing shit at the house and breaking windows and stuff. And yeah, it was attacking cars and chasing people out of the forest. And it made me think, okay, so at this point, they're so territorial. Were they fighting humans for territory at this point?
Yeah. Yeah. And that sighting that you talk about from 20 years
Pardoned.
ago, that was from two cousins that saw it when they were out doing a night hike by Bee Cliffs.
Oh no, that was 1997. No, the one that I have was from 2004, and it was a group of
King.
teenagers camping in Milk Creek.
Oh, the one in Milk Creek, yeah.
That one in Milk Creek. So that was the most recent one.
Okay, so 97 was the one with the two cousins that
Yeah.
sitting there doing their hike, and all of a sudden everything just goes quiet.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they hear a branch snap. And they hear this twice Joseph came through.
Yeah.
All they hear is this scream or yell. I don't know how you would describe it.
They described it as a war cry, and I
A
was
war
like,
cry.
yeah, that makes
They
sense.
start booking it.
Yeah.
Have
And
we met?
it's possible.
Maybe.
But they run, they kind of go off in like almost separate directions, but same direction. They split up when they ran. And then the main guy, which I believe his name is Rob Phillips,
Yes.
ends up taking cover behind a tree, and about 15 feet away, he actually sees it sitting up beside a tree.
Yeah.
And with the red beady eyes, the 9-foot tall claws coming out, and then it screams again, and he could just smell it. It screams again, and they freaking just book it the rest of the way out of there. That's crazy. Do you think it was being aggressive? Off that story, because it didn't say to attack them.
Well, I think it was like, get off my lawn. This is my house.
It did feel like it was being territorial, though.
Definitely being territorial.
And the weird thing
is really trying to scare the shit out of him and get him to leave, which is exactly what happened.
It's weird because it doesn't necessarily. It usually tries to avoid men, right?
Well, no, but it tends to obsess about dogs and women.
Dogs and women for some reason.
It does attack men, but it wants to take dogs and women. It tries to take them and carry them off.
Yeah. Yeah, there's even reports of this thing hanging around and playing with people's pets or
And
livestock.
Yeah.
Stupid.
I sit there playing with them.
They're playing with them. Just and that leads me to believe there's got to be some something human about him.
Yeah. Yeah. But then
Which-
again, he walks away with 4 pigs and eats them too at the same time.
Yeah.
Hungry bacon.
Yeah. Now, we have a screenshot of it, but there's a, the first reported sighting of this thing was 1869, but there was a newspaper article in 1871. And I know you've got a screenshot of that.
Yeah.
And it basically said, is said to be 7 feet high, possessed great muscular power. Eyes were unusually large and fiery red. His hair hanged in a tangle and matted mess below his waist. His beard reached to below his middle. Now that I wanted to touch on that. Hair hanged, beard reaches. So it had a beard, it had long hair.
Yeah.
Which basically was like, oh, dude. And it said the entire body was covered with hair and his whole aspect is most frightful. He shuns the sight of them, but approaches with wild and horrid screams of delight to every woman who is accompanied by a man.
Unaccompanied by a man.
Unaccompanied by a man. Correct. Sorry about that. He sometimes with great caution approaches houses and should see a man, he runs away with astonishing swiftness, leaping the tallest fences with the ease of a deer, defying alike the pursuit of men and dogs. He has frightened several women by attempting to carry them off, as well as by his horrid aspect, and the whole country around Sabi is in consternation. The citizens are now scouring the woods and are determining whether to capture or drive off the monster. Now, with this thing,
I want it.
because there was, they were constantly under the belief that it was just one thing.
Yeah.
That it was just one cryptid. There was just one Tennessee Wildman. But then there were sightings of multiple in one thing.
Yeah. You shared the picture during the lore of that.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. And there's reports of seeing them in 3s and 6s.
Yeah.
Not just solitary, almost like they do have a family. What's the word I'm looking for there, Dave? Dynamic.
Yeah.
Going on.
Yeah.
And for it to have survived
150 some odd years. Yeah.
Over 150 years now. To think it was just one, I can't think that would be just one. And I tend to think that
You
it's
won't
very
understand.
possible. It's very possible that some of the women it has tried to grab, it has succeeded.
It has grabbed. And they did Hills Have Eyes crap and made some babies.
Yeah. Which is a really scary thought. To the point where now they don't necessarily need to grab women anymore.
Yeah.
How do you think this came about? We've had a discussion about Bigfoot too, about where did Bigfoot come from?
Mhm.
Where do you think this come from? Because the story is that a circus freak showman captured one of them, or maybe even the original one in the 1800s, and forced him to be a circus freak and paraded him around to everybody until his actual strength of this creature allowed himself to break free.
Yeah.
And I can kind of see that happening. But
Have we met?
where did it come from? I told you it's very possible that we've met.
Yeah. Now, I mean, the concept, if we're thinking that this is, let's say, a feral human, then there are feral humans.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's absolutely
Holy water.
possible. So could it have grabbed a feral human and done this, or could there be some mix of of Bigfoot and human or something like that, to where, all of a sudden we can make this 9-foot tall red-eyed beast that definitely has thought, because you don't generally walk onto someone's property and play with their animals
No,
and play with their livestock and pet their dogs. You're going there to feed or to mark your territory and then leave. So for them to have that level of thought, this is not just an instinctive creature. This is not just a beast.
It's
No.
unknown.
I have no
It's
idea what that's.
it's unknown.
Yeah,
It's-
it is unknown.
I
But-
mean, it pulled out
but-
some Harry the Henderson shit with these people's pets.
Yeah.
He won't leave.
No, he won't leave. But let me ask you this. So this is something that I've been pondering on,
Okay.
because, and I'm going on the premise that, okay, let's say that there hasn't been any recent sightings of this thing.
Okay.
Okay. So if but there's Bigfoot all over this area.
Yes.
There's so much Bigfoot stuff.
Tennessee's a huge Bigfoot country.
Exactly. So
Appalachians is a huge Bigfoot country.
Appalachian, yeah, is huge. I mean, Virginia all the way down. It's crazy. Like the whole Appalachian area is loaded with Bigfoot stuff.
Yeah.
But so let me ask you, do you think that
Switch.
either the reports that they say is Bigfoot could actually be Tennessee Wildman,
Okay.
or B, the Bigfoot either killed the Tennessee Wildman off or drove them away and took over the territory?
What is that?
Hmm. That was me this time.
Mhm. Yeah, I can tell the tone is different.
That's interesting, because I can really honestly tell you both, right? I think with
scared.
sheer numbers, I think the Bigfoot has the very potential of driving this away or even just killing him off.
Mhm.
But if that has not happened, I think, especially if you saw this thing from the back
First,
and not
Mhm.
necessarily the front, it could be very easily confused with Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But my
If you don't
feeling
know, if
about
you see a
it,
9-foot hairy monster,
yeah,
you're gonna be like, "Oh, there's a Bigfoot." You're not gonna, because that's the one you know. Not
Yeah.
many people know, "Oh, that's the Tennessee Wildman,"
yeah,
or
Yeah.
as it's sometimes called, the wood booger.
or the woodburger, my favorite.
Wood,
My
yeah, the wood
favorite,
booger. I like
the
wood
wood
booger.
booger.
That's the wood booger. That sounds like a Tennessee name. That sounds like something.
That's very Tennessee
Yeah,
right
wood
there.
Um,
You see that damn there wood booger? He was about 9 foot tall.
there was like, so I mean, there's so many. The Milk Creek Wildman. They called it the White Hill Screamer, and there's so many other names. But
I
yeah,
think
I'm wondering.
both
I'm
of those
wondering
things
if
are possible though.
did the Bigfoot, because they were
asylum.
in conflict.
Yeah.
Let's say there was a battle between the Bigfoot and the Tennessee Wildman for that territory.
Yeah.
And now all we see are Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Now let's say all that's there are Bigfoot. I think it's very possible that the Bigfoot could have killed the Tennessee Wildman off.
I think that's a very possibility, or even thinking further, I think it's very possible that Bigfoot did take over the
Have we met?
territory. Because it seems like Bigfoot is just multiplying more and more.
Yeah.
There's more and more sightings every single day. In fact,
Yeah.
shit, I've seen you've shared some awesome videos with me lately with Bigfoot sightings.
There's some
There's
stuff
some
out there.
really good ones. I saw a trail cam one today that was freaking amazing.
Good.
I wasn't even looking up the Tennessee Wildman. I just found it on accident. But
Yeah.
I
Speaking-
think it's very possible that
Yeah.
with how the Appalachians are, it's very possible that they can be in seclusion now in a different, smaller territory where they're not coming out
Dangerous.
in the open as much.
Please go.
That's weird because it said, "This is my place," and the next one it says is, "Please go." No, this is my place.
Yeah.
You can leave.
Mine said dangerous in between. But yeah, speaking of trail cameras, so this was picked up on a trail cam.
Oh, okay.
And I did put it in the lore. Tell me what you think of this.
You won't understand.
I think I agree with you on that one. I don't know what to think about that. The face is weird.
Yeah, I don't know if it's looking up or if it's looking down. Is that fur or hair? It looks like a big orangutan, but I mean, it doesn't look like a human in a suit.
No, it doesn't necessarily look like a human in the
But
suit.
I can't say it's Bigfoot.
Wrong. The face is wrong.
The face is I don't know if I'm seeing the face right. And I think that I don't know if it's an optical illusion or whatever, but that was picked up on a trail camera. And then there's this one that was picked up on a video, and I actually have the video to go along with it, which is this. And it looks like there's this crazy human looking thing
That's weird.
hiding under the brush where that circle is.
Yeah.
And if you
Who's
maximize
there?
it, you can see two eyes and a nose, and
Yeah.
so it looks human. And I'm like, dude, that could be a Tennessee Wildman. I could see that.
The only thing, yeah, that's a weird one. That first one, that one's just off. The face is just off to me. Like, I like everything but the face. Like, the face is what looks like it's photoshopped.
Shine.
Like, everything else looks good. Like it looks like it's some hairy creature, but for some reason they decided to Photoshop the face with these two black eyes and a Muppet mouth.
Yeah.
It doesn't look right.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we got to take it at face value, and they're saying it's Wildman.
With that much, I'm sorry. With that much light that's hitting that creature in that trail cam, you really think all you're going to see is black in its mouth and eyes?
No, that's the weird thing. I just the
Like
whole visual of it is weird. Like it's shaded wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to make of it.
I don't know what that creature is. I don't think they needed to Photoshop it.
Yeah,
this is the best picture at all. And we know this is
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is real. But I was like, dude, this is an awesome fucking picture.
It looks like movie set costume.
Yeah, it does not look like a Bigfoot. If I would say that was a hairy human because it's got a bald head.
Yeah. But I could see if that was walking away from you.
Yeah. That
not
people
by
would
the side of, I could see people thinking that's fucking Bigfoot, especially if he had his head down.
Exactly.
I don't know what's up with that Photoshop picture though. That was weird.
Yeah.
That face, I'm like, I expect like Fraggle Rock to come walking through or something. They're gonna start eating the buildings that these little people are building.
It's warm.
It's warm. So I've got a couple of videos to show.
All right.
I'm gonna show this one first because it goes with that. It goes with this.
That trail cam
Still goes with this picture here. I think this is the right one. So check this out. So they're up on this ridge.
Yeah.
And then they look down and then they zoom down in, and it's down in this tree line right here. Right there. See it?
Yeah. It's almost like he's holding something over his head so he can't be noticed. Like he's like, no, you don't see me.
Yeah, he's got like his own little duck blind going on. Like, I'm not here. You don't know I'm here.
A few moments later, those dudes just got sniped.
So
guy suit. Yeah.
so this next video, basically says caught Tennessee Wildman on camera. It's at a distance, so look way in the back, and you'll see something. And I'm like, okay, that could be a Bigfoot, that could be Tennessee Wildman. I don't know, but check this one out.
I did like this one. I remember seeing this one during the research.
Yeah,
I liked it. One, the size looks right.
size looks right.
He looks
Probably
around
7-8 foot tall.
8 foot tall right there.
Yeah.
Especially how far out it was.
Mhm.
It didn't necessarily, I don't know if that was Bigfoot or not, but it doesn't necessarily remind me of Bigfoot.
No, it walks more human.
Walks more human. Yeah.
Yeah, the stride looks more human. The cadence looked more human.
Arms don't look super long.
Arms aren't super long. It looked, but then you start going, okay, could it be a man in a suit? And I don't think so, because I think that thing was probably 8 foot tall.
Yeah, that was pretty tall. With how far over he was, he looked huge. Either that or he's got a very large friend.
He's got Shaq for a buddy. I don't know. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Same type of thing. These are all like wood shots, but
well, of course.
So this one's interesting because I think it's in the snow. So the snow's coming down.
Okay.
And the guy zooms in on it, and it's just kind of standing there with the snow hitting him.
Oh, okay.
And staring right at him. But again, he's like 75 feet away. And if you look at it, this thing looks about 9 foot tall.
All right. Let's roll the footage.
So I got a still of it, and then I'm gonna play the video. But you can kind of see it. See it right there? He zooms in on it. You can see it right there. And then he pulls in. And you can see him just standing there.
Yeah, it's something standing in there.
It's standing there and it's staring at him.
It's just like,
It's like waiting for you to go because it's snowing. It's cold out.
And I don't want to move because you might see me. I'm not sure. I don't know what that's in your hand.
Yeah. Now this one is labeled a Bigfoot, but again, I like the way it moves.
Okay.
And this, if it's Tennessee Wildman, but I think it still could be Bigfoot. It's dated October of 2022.
Okay, hold on before you play this.
Okay.
So I told you, it said, "This is my place," and then please go.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Look, you are annoying. Disagree. This is my place." I'm about to get in a fight.
You're about to get in a Bigfoot versus Tennessee Wildman battle. And in this corner. Okay, so check this video out. And I actually played around with this and edited it and zoomed in on it and got a closer shot. So check it out.
Not all of us.
So see how it's kind of looking and moving from side to side. And
Terry.
Don't say that word. And then it pulls back, and then I get really close, and then you can kind of see it. I don't know.
Did it say scary?
Might have said scary.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Mine said Terry.
Oh. Yeah.
But during the lore, when it was talking about the Tennessee Wildman, my ghost tube said, I don't like it.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
But this is where I'm like, okay, I don't know. I'm leaning toward Bigfoot with that. It's labeled as Bigfoot. I think it's a little big.
I,
For the
I
wild,
would
his arms
be
are a
leaning.
little long.
Yeah, with the how long the arms were when I was watching
Just
it, I
doing
would
it
be leaning.
like that.
Yeah, leaning more towards Bigfoot on that one.
Yeah, and it wasn't until I zoomed in and just saw it that I was like, but when I first looked at it, I was like, that could be, by the way it's walking, it could be Tennessee Wildman.
Yeah,
And then, but I mean, there's so many screams and stuff that you hear. Could that be Tennessee Wildman as opposed to Bigfoot? Because Bigfoot's more like a roar, but then there are screams. You hear screams and cries
Screams.
and yells that
Yeah.
seem more human in the woods. And I don't know, but I think this is an interesting cryptid. I really dug doing the research on this.
Yeah, this was a fun one to research. They have found footprints
Yes,
and hair, and they did send stuff off for DNA testing.
I have a picture of a footprint that they found.
And the
And
results were, is it raised more questions than answers.
yeah, it was
Wow.
all inconclusive. Like they don't know what to make of it.
We don't know what this is.
The footprint itself measured 16 and a half inches.
That's huge. Yeah. That's huge. A foot and a half.
Oh yeah, and that's it right there. And it looks like it's got 3 toes, which is also weird. But it's got a definite arch and a prominent heel, so it looks like it's could have been a 4th toe or something in there, but it looked like I saw 3 pads on the front. But yeah, 16 and a half inches of the footprint.
That's huge, bro. That's
that's a big foot. I've been kicked with a foot that sucks.
Yeah.
And that guy was almost 7 foot tall, so that makes a lot of sense.
Looking like Bruce Lee on the Game of Death.
Yeah, when he got kicked by Kareem,
filled up his whole freaking torso.
Yeah. No, it was serious. I was wrestling. I got kicked by Nathan Jones, and his footprint went from here to here, my belly button to my neck, and you could see his whole boot print on my chest.
I know you were in wrestling. You did.
Rich.
No, Rich isn't here yet. He hasn't shown
Rich
up.
isn't here. Well, I got to tell him.
But of course, we're talking about a freaking squatch-like creature, and asked for Rich.
And Rich is very big on Bigfoot. I'm not saying that he looks like a Bigfoot, but
so I know in wrestling you've dealt with tall people, and you're actually a little bit shorter than I am.
Yes.
When I got to go, I went to a Sacramento Kings game when they were playing the Orlando Magic, and Shaquille O'Neal was on there.
Mm-hmm.
We were sitting right up front, courtside, great tickets, right? You'd be amazed how friendly Shaquille O'Neal is. That dude will talk to anybody. Doesn't matter if you're wearing a Kings jersey or not. He'll talk. He let me put his shoe on. Mind you, it was very awkward standing next to him because it's like
talking to his belly button. So Shaq, what's going on, dude?
I don't need a microphone, Shaq. I'll yell up there. But he's like, I was like, dude, you got huge feet. And he's like, oh, put it on. I put my foot in his shoe with my shoe still on. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
I mean, yeah.
It brought back a memory. Okay, so take a look at this. I've got 2 Tennessee Wildman standing with me in this picture. This is from wrestling.
Oh.
And I'm standing next to Nathan Jones and John Heidenreich. Nathan Jones is 6'10", weighs 360 pounds. John Heidenreich is 6'6", weighs 320.
Jesus.
Okay. And then there's me. Check this picture out. Okay,
yeah.
fuck that, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if I was going to run into a Tennessee Wildman, holy shit. And that would be their minimum size.
Yeah. Yeah, that's minimum.
Yeah. So I mean,
Ethan,
I'm 5'6", but I mean back then I was like 185, 190. I was in pretty decent shape. And I looked like a child up to that.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
I did a wrestling match with the guy on the right side of the picture is Nathan Jones. I did a match with him.
Yeah.
And that dude, he picked me up by my face.
I'm coming.
I was laying flat. He grabbed my face like a pie face, and he just picked me. He straight armed me and picked me straight up in the air, and then threw me into the corner. And I was like, "Dude,
Yeah. Yeah.
strongest person I've ever met."
Yeah. It's when you're
And if
standing
that's
going,
yeah, and if that's understating what the Tennessee Wildman's strength is, the Tennessee Wildman's fucking strong.
yeah.
Demon.
Demon. Okay. Didn't expect that one, but
I don't know. This cryptid is this is amazing freaking cryptid, I think.
Yeah. This is cool. You ready to score this?
Yeah, let's see how amazing this thing is.
Okay. All right. So first thing we talk about is the size, and we go by our standard 5 is normal human size.
Yes.
Amber.
I would say someone like Shaq or someone like this guy, the guys in my wrestling, maybe a 6. But like you and me, up to about 6 foot or so, solid 5.
Yeah.
So now this thing maxes out at 9 feet.
Yeah.
So what did you give this for size?
I gave us an 8.
Okay, I went 7.
You went 7.
Because looking at our past ones, Baba Yaga, the Chindi, the Adlet, the Stikini, Bunny Yip, Rougarou, Lechuza, the Goatman. The Bigfoot has an 8. And the Bigfoot we say is bigger, right?
Yes.
So
I agree with
that's my main reason for giving it a 7, was because
Wow.
we consider the Bigfoot bigger than this guy.
Yeah. I agree with that statement. I would drop down to a 7 based off of that.
Okay. So what do we think about speed? Now,
I
they're
think
talking about
he's
this
fast
thing
and
is
agile.
yeah, it can jump fences like nothing.
Yeah. So I
it
put
can
it at a
kick
7.
Yeah, I put it at a 7 for speed. I think it's fast.
God.
Not as fast as God, but I think it's
I
fast.
don't think he's as fast as God.
No, God's pretty fast.
God's pretty fast.
He apparently made the universe in 6 days, so
Yeah.
I think he's fast, bro. Okay, so the next thing is evidence.
Now, I
Farther.
I think I might have overscored this, but there's a lot of stories on it. There's the pictures that we have to take at face value.
Yeah.
You're hearing a lot coming from it. You have the footprints, the hair samples, which I really liked. Anytime you can get some physical evidence of this creature, I like.
I like that too.
I put the evidence at an 8.
Okay, that's not bad. I went 6. And I didn't know about hair samples. I did know about footprints. And then basically I'm just going by what they captured, which is pictures, video, and then the footprints. Didn't know about the hair. So I will one up that. I'll go 7.
Evil.
But the stories that goes to sightings, not to evidence.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that when you're talking about it. My thing just said evil. So I would probably come down 1 because of that and take it to a 7. You'd go up 1, I'd come down 1.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Okay, aggression. So it absolutely says this thing's aggressive. It's mainly territorial. Every story, everything I read, aggressive.
Aggressive. I put the aggression here with this creature at a 10.
Oh, I went 9.
I went 10.
But
I think this is
You shouldn't be here.
I was almost a 10. And the only reason why I did it,
I
why I
don't
didn't
know.
do a 10 was because it seemed like it was more territorial aggression than it was like it would go out and attack. But with the reports of it attacking cars and
Yeah.
trying to take women and dogs, and then the one where it destroyed the house.
Yeah.
And there was one
Mutilating
other.
livestock. There's a whole freaking
Yeah, the one
decade
one
where it was
incident
killing
where
livestock.
there was like something in the 20s or 30s where it was attacking livestock.
30s and 40s.
Yeah. So yeah, I will match that 10. I'll go up.
Yeah, because I think this is way more aggressive than Bigfoot. And our aggression for Bigfoot was 6, right? Yeah, right. Yeah. I just
Yeah,
looked it
our
up.
aggression for Bigfoot was
I
6
think
because
this is super more aggressive than Bigfoot is.
yeah, this thing will come at you.
And so that's why I went with the 10 there. I mean, I thought about the aggression with Bigfoot, and Bigfoot can be aggressive. Bigfoot can be territorial. He'll throw fucking boulders and rocks at you and trees and shit, right? Just to get you to go away.
Yeah.
This thing will fucking beat you to an unidentifiable pulp. Exact words.
Yeah. And then there's that one thing with the Phillips
Yeah.
guy
Yeah.
where it just seemed to want to chase him off. It didn't seem to want to attack him.
How are you?
That feels like it was more too close to the
It
family.
was like, you're too close to my home. You're too close to my
house. You get out of here.
You need to get off my lawn. That's what it was. That was more like a get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
You're not
that's
supposed
what,
to be here.
that's what that really felt
So,
like to me.
That's where there were these little things that made it a little bit more human, where I was like, okay, maybe I should go 9 for aggression instead of 10. But I totally get the 10, and I was all ready to back you up, bro. I was like, if he goes 10, I'm gonna go 10. I'm gonna go 9.
Yeah, I was a 10 there. So
lore. Now the lore is pretty good. It goes back to 1869. That was the first sighting.
Love the lore.
Love the lore. Good history on it. A bunch of stuff on it, like how it treats things and how it behaves and where it's at and what it does. So I gave the lore a 7.
I was way higher than that. I liked,
because it doesn't go back to like Banshee level or stuff like that. I didn't think it deserved a higher score than that.
I like the territorial part with the Bigfoot. I like the circus freak origin. I like even possibly the possibility of the relationship to the Wendigo. Those things really kind of shout out me for its origin story type thing, which I really liked. I liked the multitude of sightings for this thing and the multitude of stories for it. Yeah, we have that 20-year lull now, which I probably, like I said, I might have overscored it, but I really enjoyed the lore. Your video made me enjoy it even more, and I was already at a 10. So I really liked it. Do I think I probably overscored the lore? Probably.
Yeah, I just think there's been 20 years of just like kind of radio silence with these things.
Yeah, and we talked about that before.
We don't know what happened.
You vetoed me on yours, and you're like, "No, I don't care if there's been silence for that long." Just recently, Dave. You keep flip-flopping on that.
Sometimes I think it matters. Sometimes I think it's don't. Sometimes it's shit. Sometimes it doesn't. It all depends on how much beer I have. And right now I haven't had enough beer.
And I look at the being silent for 20 years as being part of the lore with the territorial of the Bigfoot.
Okay.
And possibly maybe it isn't not being seen. Maybe it is still being seen, and it's being
maybe it's being mistaken
for the Bigfoot.
For a Bigfoot.
So
that changing. My thing is I think it was wiped out.
Yeah, I think I should go to an 8 is where I think I should go.
My original thought was they were wiped out 20 years ago. That's my original thought. But I think it could be very possible if they're just being mistaken. They're being misidentified as a Bigfoot. Or anything, misidentify a skunk ape or an Ozark howler or whatever, because they all kind of blend together. They're all
they do.
They're big. They all walk on 2 legs.
Yeah,
Uh,
they really do. They really do
yeah.
kind of all kind of match that same family of bipedal cryptids.
So yeah, if you drop to an 8, I'll go up to an 8. I'll meet you there. I'm down for that.
Sounds good there.
Okay, sightings.
I was high on the sightings.
I was high on the sightings, bro.
I was high on the
I mean,
sightings. I went 9 here.
I underscored it because I was like, I don't know why I did what I did, but I'm like, as we're going through it, I'm thinking 9.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when I first went and scored it, I did a 6.
Yeah.
I don't know why, except for
Even
the
after
fact
the
that I don't
discussion,
know.
I was like, I
don't
think
know
I
if
nailed
it's real.
sightings.
I don't know if it's real or not. I don't know if the videos and the pictures, I don't know if that's Bigfoot or Tennessee Wildman. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think there has to be some bonus put to that because there could be so many sightings out there that we think are Bigfoot that are actually the
That are
Tennessee.
actually the Tennessee
So yeah,
Mountain.
no, I will totally match the 9, bro.
Perfect.
Audio. And I think audio is kind of one of their main things is their scream or their war cry.
Yeah. Heard a lot in the Tennessee
Yeah.
Mountains.
There, dude. So I'm good on this one too.
Yeah, I went 9 here on the audio.
Okay, I went 8.
You went 8.
I went 8. And
Wow.
I couldn't pick up, and the reason why is I couldn't pick up any audio evidence.
I think the problem with the audio evidence is it's going to be right there in the same
In the same, is it Bigfoot?
as Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So
So
again, I think it has that mistaken identity between the
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
Asylum.
So yeah, I can take that down to an 8. I could take that down to an 8.
Okay. All right. Physical and objects. Yeah. I think
10.
I underscored this one.
I went 10.
I think I underscored it. I
He
went 7.
He and Eid and ransacked
I mean,
the
it
house.
destroyed a house. It destroyed a house. It tries to carry people off.
Yeah.
It
Beating
pet-
hunters to a pulp.
it pets livestock and and pets your dog and
Then steals your pigs.
steals your pigs and eats them. And yeah,
Yeah, I went 10 here. It's doing so much physically. I went 10 here.
yeah. I don't know if I want to go 10, but
Where'd
I don't
you
see
go?
any reason. I don't see any reason not to. I would at least be 9 here, but I mean, I think the majority. No, I think it's got to.
know.
I don't know either. The majority of the stuff that it does is physical.
Yeah.
It's not really affecting people emotionally, except for ones that actually get physically beaten by this thing. Then
it's
you're
affecting
emotionally
objects.
damaged.
And it's affecting objects too. I mean, it's
It like slams cars
attacking
and
houses,
and you know
trying to throw some Grand Theft Auto in there. It's
some B&E, a little breaking and entering.
B&E, assault.
Yeah, definitely battery. So with emotional, I actually went lower here. Not incredibly
It's
low.
outside.
I'm still like mid-range easy,
Oh.
but because I was like, okay, so if you get beaten to a pulp and stuff happens, then yeah, you're feeling it. Like the one guy, Phillips, who
Asylum.
he went and did the report, like he talked to a magazine and stuff like 20 years later
Yeah.
about this. And he's like, this is the first time I've been back to these woods.
He's actually started his own paranormal freaking site and group that he goes and hunts for this thing.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. This thing made him like, no, I gotta find it. I saw it once, now I gotta find it. You hearing shit?
Yes.
Like shit moving around?
Like something
you hear it?
just walked into the house.
Like the door open and shut?
Yes. But I'm thinking because my dog was reacting, I think it was my wife.
Okay.
Because I know I locked the door. So, okay. So yeah, I went 6 for emotion here.
I again, I was at 10. The curiosity is still there for this thing. There's people still hunting for it. There's
But again, I don't know if it. I still don't know if it exists anymore. I can't do 10. I don't see a 10 for it. I think that this is where I think the war cry causes fear.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's an emotional
seeing it
aspect. Yeah.
causes
So
fear.
I went 2 for the dudes that got beaten up and they never went back to the forest, the hunters. I went 2 for the Phillips guy who was like, this is the first time I've been back. And then I went 2 for the war cry. So that's why I went 6. I could go up a little bit, but I don't see a 10 on this personally.
Let's see. So you
I'm-
think this has less than an emotional aspect than the actual Bigfoot?
Yes.
And I think it sits right there with Bigfoot.
I think it's more physical because we gave the Bigfoot an 8 for the
Grandmother.
physical
Yeah.
objects.
Yeah.
And that could have easily been a 10. And I would flop that. I think the Tennessee Wildman is more physical than it is emotional. But I do think it causes emotional responses in people. But I think the Bigfoot is everybody's emotional about Bigfoot. So that has to be a 10. I just don't see it on that level.
So that would make it an 8.
Yeah. I mean, no, I'd go up.
No, that's what I'm thinking. I was like, it made sense. It made sense with the flop.
Yeah, because I'd
Between the two?
go up to an 8. I think it deserves an 8.
And I would drop down to an 8. That made sense with the flop between the two. That made sense to me when thinking about it. So danger.
Yeah. I think
I think this is a very dangerous creature. I was
I think it's more. I've got to lay weight to the fact that it may not be here anymore, and I've got to lay claim to the fact that it seems more territorial, and at least at this point, because there haven't been any reported attacks.
Yeah.
But if you get in its area, it's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, I put the danger level at an 8 here.
That's what I did too.
And mostly because of women.
Yeah, I think women and dogs and livestock are in the most danger here.
Yeah. Men, if you end up in their territory, you either get a chance to run away or it beats the living shit out of you. So what's that bring us to the final score here?
The final score on the Tennessee Wildman gets an 82.
Ooh. Did you go up or down?
I went up. I went way up.
What was your original score?
My original score was a 71.
Wow. Yeah, you had a 9 point up. I had a 7 point down. My original score was 89.
I had 11 point up. I had 11 point up.
Oh, you had 11 point up.
Disgusting.
Yeah, 71 to 82. Yeah.
71 to 82, 11 point up.
I had a 7 point down. I was at an 89 going through the research. And after the discussion, I went down 7 points.
Okay, that's good because there's no way that this will be higher than Bigfoot. I'm sorry. There's no way.
What did we score Bigfoot at?
Bigfoot's an 87.
87.
Yeah.
Young.
More dangerous, I agree. More aggressive. Bigfoot, more evidence for Bigfoot.
Way more evidence, way more size a little bit. More.
We put Bigfoot faster than this.
Because we had to lay claim to the fact that it dimensional shifts.
Oh, we had the dimensional portal stuff going
We had
on.
the dimensional issue.
Yeah.
But But
Okay.
yeah, there's nothing about Tennessee Wildman that suggests any type of dimensional travel.
No.
But because there was a suggestion of that with the Bigfoot, we had to bump that up,
Yeah.
speed up.
Yep. I remember that now. Oh. Pretty good though. An 82. That's still really good.
Yeah.
I
Still-
want to leave.
Well, then leave and head over to the Figueroa.
Yep.
Wow. So real cryptid or mythical beast?
I think this is a real cryptid. I think this is a real cryptid,
Haunted.
and it's either haunted. Okay.
Mine said
I think
hospital before that.
my original thought was that I think these were killed off by the Bigfoot. I think there was a battle for territory and the Bigfoot won, which is why there's more Bigfoot sightings now. But I think it could very well be misidentification, and the Tennessee Wildman is still in the Appalachians, just that it's being mistaken for Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So it could be
I think-
either or.
I think I kind of finished with Bigfoot. I don't necessarily think Bigfoot killed him off. I think it's a possibility, but more that the Tennessee Wildman has withdrawn from territories and has gone to more of a smaller territory up in the Appalachians. To get away from, because it done lost. It got its ass whooped by
Yeah.
the sheer number. I mean, Bigfoot just has the sheer numbers, I think.
Yeah.
Got its butt whooped, secluded itself, but is still seen, but misidentified. I think it's very possible that it's still being seen. It's just being misidentified, but you don't see it as much. I think you're seeing more Bigfoot than the Tennessee Wildman. I think its territory got a lot smaller.
Yeah, I agree. They, drove them to a smaller area or whatever. But yeah, I think that's probably somewhere in the middle of where
Which would make
it's at.
sense why the last major sighting was probably at Milk Creek.
Yeah.
It's probably somewhere sitting around that area instead of being everywhere else like McNair and all that.
Yeah.
Oh shit, bro. Wow. I like this. I like this cryptid though. Yeah, I'm whole right there with you. I believe it is a real cryptid. I think it's very much real.
Yeah.
Where it came from, I'm still not sure. I don't think it's related to Bigfoot. I can tell you that.
I don't know about its relation to the Wendigo, but it's fascinating because I love the Wendigo.
Oh yeah.
That's probably my favorite cryptid out of all we've talked about.
Yeah. Wendigo's a beast.
Wendigo's a beast.
Described
And
as going to be as big as mountains. I mean, come on.
yeah. So for it to might be related to the Wendigo, because the Wendigo was also human at one point and transformed.
Yeah.
So maybe this is kind of like
It's dark.
almost it is getting dark out there, but maybe this is some kind of like partial transformation to where it doesn't exactly grow to be a full Wendigo, but it's
Wendigos
I don't know,
could
but
really be scary.
Later
Okay.
this evening.
okay, there's a shadow off to your right. I think that's coming off of you. I'm not sure.
Where?
Where's your it's like over here just off your banner right there.
This right here?
Yeah.
That is the cover for my embroidering machine, I think.
Okay. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
it looks like a figure right there.
Hold
Yeah, that's it.
on.
Yeah.
I have a hat sitting on top of it.
That's it.
Not the same thing we saw earlier, just to point that out.
With the
Yeah, it's crazy.
that's crazy. But good show, bro. That was a lot of fun.
Good show. And next week, I mean, we're staying in Tennessee, and we're going to be
Yep.
talking about the Brushy
Brushy
Mountain
State
State
Penitentiary.
Penitentiary. Want to make sure
Dude,
I say
I have
that
been wanting to talk about this one. This is a gnarly
yeah,
penitentiary. It has got mountains on 3 sides.
yeah.
This is
This
only
place
one.
looks nasty driving up to it, bro.
It looks nasty, and I'm like, I'm so down to talk about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
This is one that you're like, we got to talk about this place.
Yep.
As soon as you said Tennessee, I'm like, oh, I know which one I wanted to. And then of course on Scare Network TV
Yeah,
tonight, we're going to record our episode for the other cryptid that we're going to talk about, which is the Raven Mocker. So if you
Cheryl.
guys are not already a part of Scare Network TV, you should definitely check it out.
I
ScareNetwork.tv.
know.
They're getting ready to go live on their new format October 5th. And once they do, all of our episodes are going to start blowing up on there. So get in there as soon as you can and become a part of the Scare Network TV family like we are, because Billy and the guys
I
over
don't
there
like
are
it.
awesome. And yeah, I can't wait to get those episodes. So yeah, we've got 3 episodes in the can right now.
yeah.
That we're just going to start putting those up on Scare Network as soon as they're ready to go.
Mother.
And speaking of of people that we like to talk about, and being part of the Scare Network family, we love those guys and Billy and all them over there. We want to say thank you to Spotify for podcasters. They're what allows you to hear our beautiful voices on Google Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and of course, Spotify itself. It's a great place to start your podcast. And it's a great place to continue on with your podcast as you grow
I'm
your
not sure.
listeners. They actually help you out with sponsorships. So not only is it a great startup, it's a great place just to continue. And they put all that out there for you for free, folks. Absolutely free. You spend no money doing that. And of course, we want to thank StreamYard. StreamYard is why you're allowed to see us on all your favorite places like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, possibly even Patreon right now. I'll have to check that here after we get off.
Well, it
But yeah,
wouldn't be StreamYard that's doing it, but we're
we're starting things up over there as well, and kind of start creating some exclusive content for that over there. If you guys want to check out some exclusive stuff that's not just available on Scare Network, so kind of doing our own thing over there with that stuff. But StreamYard is great, man. I love everything that they are there. That gives you the ability to do. You can have guests come through and everything. It's amazing. But yeah, YouTube at Spiritual Spirits, Facebook, Spirits with John and Dave, or JD, I'm sorry, and then Twitter, Spirits with Spirits with SPRT, Spurt. So check us out there. Catch us on the replays, of course. Like and subscribe. Hit that alarm bell so you get your notifications as well. And if you don't have time to watch, you always have time to listen. We take long drives everywhere. Check us out on your favorite podcasting listening sites. So I think that's it for tonight, Dave.
I think so too, bro. So yeah, let's get out of here. So
Bring it to
guys,
me.
yeah, next week, Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary. Same bat time, same bat channel. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for checking us out on the replay. And I'm gonna roll the outro credits and we're gone. So you guys take care, be safe, and we'll see you next week.